North Africa might just do it. In 1 minute, we will know. In 1 minute, Africa will celebrate, because football in Africa, it is about celebration. Ladies and gentlemen, really enjoy this draw.
Now that was certainly a fantastic performance by the K-Cup group. In fact, this young bunch of girls and boys have just come back from China, where they left a piece of Africa. Now, South Africa has its many traits that render each host city quite unique from another, from the splendor of the coastal cities that we know of to the beauty of the mountains. Now, the rainbow provinces really never cease to amaze. Let's take a look.
South Africa is ready and waiting to host the Orange Africa Cup of Nations South Africa 2013, the continent's premier football showcase. 5 venues which during the FIFA World Cup 2010 were acclaimed for their incredible facilities for players, spectators and match officials. 5 venues scattered across South Africa with its amazing scenery and magnificent wildlife, where a vibrant people enjoy world-class facilities and infrastructure, where the nightlife is as welcoming and exciting as its people. 5 provinces stand ready and waiting for the games to begin. In Gauteng, the economic heartland of South Africa with its cosmopolitan atmosphere, where opportunity abounds, this where you will find the jaw-dropping Calabash-style 80,000-seater soccer city in Soweto. Lapped by the warm waters of the Indian Ocean is KwaZulu-Natal, the Zulu Kingdom, with its seaside playground, awesome Drakensberg Mountains and World Heritage Site. In Durban is the 54,000-seater Moses Mabhida Stadium. In the country's Eastern Cape Province in Port Elizabeth is the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium, a 49,000-seat venue set in the heart of a province which was the birthplace of Nelson Mandela, where ancient forests hide elusive elephants and a spectacular coastline beckons. In the Mpumalanga province is awesome scenery from the escarpment to the lowveld, where names such as Blyder River Canyon, God's Window and Berg's Luck evoke images of times past. The southern gateway to the mighty Kruger National Park, and in Nelspruit is the 40,000-seat Mbombela Stadium. The Royal Bafokeng Stadium in Rustenburg is the 5th venue. This 42,000-seat stadium is located in the Northwest Province, the cradle of humankind, where Homo sapiens first walked, a World Heritage Site where our great human journey began, and where the province's game reserves beckon visitors with their promise of Big 5 encounters. 5 provinces, 5 wonderful stadiums to welcome soccer teams, where the skills of the best that the continent has to offer will be on show. Watched by a people who are mad about football. And where Africa's greatest tournament, the Orange Africa Cup of Nations, South Africa 2013, will reach its climax.
I'm pretty sure that you guys at home also can see that Africa is certainly calling. And here to kickstart the proceedings, please welcome on stage South Africa 2013 LOC Chairman, Chief Mwelo Nonkonyana.
President of the Republic, Mr. Jacob Zuma, the members of the Executive Committee of CAF, led by our President, Dr. Issa Hayato, Your Majesty, King Zwelithini, and members of the African royalty, the President of SAFA, Mr. Kirsten Nematandani, and presidents of sister federations here present, and your delegations, the members of the board, and members of the diplomatic corps, distinguished guests, including of our commercial partners, fellow Africans, and members of football family. I greet you all this evening. Bonsoir. South Africa has been afforded the opportunity to once again host the Orange African Cup of Nations 2013 on behalf of CAF, an opportunity that we as the local organizing committee hold in high esteem. We know the responsibility that comes with hosting a tournament of this magnitude, and we want to give an assurance to CAF and the participating member associations, including our country, as well as all Africans, that will not let them down. We have already been put to test by FIFA when we held the 2010 FIFA World Cup, and we rose to the occasion. Thanks once more to all those who were involved under the leadership of what FIFA President Sepp Blatter referred to as 3 Musketeers, Doctors Ivan Khoza, Molefi Oliphant, and Danny Jordan. They are part of the local organizing committee, and we are also inspired by our young and energetic minister, Honorable Fikile Mbalula. We should not forget that we are now free, and time for all of us as free countries and the continent, we must not serve colonial masters. That time has passed. We are now proud members of the civilized world, inferior to nobody. In this context, we must play our part to raise the standard of both the administration and the standard of football in our transformation agenda. Tonight, 16 country teams have descended on this great city of Durban in the province of KwaZulu-Natal with one end goal in mind, that is, to be crowned champions of the 29th edition of Orange African Cup of Nations in South Africa. We congratulate you for having qualified to participate to this special edition of AFCON, as we want to thank and celebrate African football. The mega stars and legends of Africa football will emerge and will adore our Football Hall of Fame. And those who were promoted by us and disclaimed us in favor of serving their selfish interests at the expense of national and continental interest must be warned not to lead us to temptation to put them in a hole of shame. We look forward to dazzling, sizzling, and entertaining African Cup of Nations 2013. Best wishing to all. Orison Sweet Madden, an African spiritual author in the book The New Thought Movement, who lived between 1850 and 1924, once said, and I quote, "Our destiny changes with our thought. We shall become what we wish to become, do what we wish to do when our habitual thought corresponds with our desire," end quote. I chose this quote just to remind us that this premier football tournament on African soil can become whatever we wish it to become. If our thoughts, deeds, and desire are unanimous and aligned to one end objective of making African football an instrument for socio-economic development and political stability, football would have won without firing a single bullet. Therefore, if our destiny and thoughts are aligned, we can be assured of a continent that thrives on unity of its people, only separated by historical boundaries, but joined to the hip by the ties that bind us, our Africanness. So, as the 16 nations gathered here tonight for the final draw, we wish to ensure the African football that we use football as a tool to uproot our people from the cycle of poverty, wars, preventable diseases. We must always find space in the name of football to promote peace in Africa. This is what Chief Albert Luthuli, which this building is named after, who have urged us to do. After all, he was the first African and the first person from outside Europe and America to be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1960. We can assure you that when you go home to prepare for this tournament and come ready to fight the coveted trophy, you will find the local organizing committee ready to deliver a seamless and high-quality tournament that this country and the continent has become accustomed to. Our plans are complete and we are ready to host this tournament. We have put in place plans around team transport, training venues, team hotels, including team security and escort mechanisms. Spectator experience that will ensure that every single stadium has an offering that is unique to that seat and yet positions African football as the greatest. We will be deploying media operations centers at each and every stadium, a security and health plan, as well as the hospitality plan for all our commercial partners, etc. We hope that Libyans who were originally scheduled to host this event will cease its hostilities and start rebuilding and reconstructing their country, as we want to be there in 2017. The theme of this tournament is Celebrate Africa, the beat at Africans' feet. Let's come and be one. Let's meet in the cities of Johannesburg, Durban, Mbombela, Nelson Mandela, and Rustenburg to dance and share our various cultures, to enjoy and to be entertained by our players as their lyrics and dance their feet in the football pitch. Let us beat the drums and beckon Africa to come and celebrate the biggest event in the African continent. Frères et sœurs africains, members de la famille du football, venez en Africa du Sud in 2013. Votre jour du football Africa. Merci beaucoup. Thank you, Program Director. May I invite our doyen, our president of the African football, Dr. Issa Hayatou, the president of CAF, to address us. My president, Dr. Issa Hayatou, l'Africa est tout à vous.
Monsieur le Président de la République sud-africaine, Son Excellence Monsieur Jacob Zuma, Sa Majesté le Roi Swezi Ting, Mesdames et Messieurs les membres du gouvernement, Monsieur le maire de la ville de Durban, Monsieur le Président du comité local d'organisation de la CAN 2013, Monsieur le Président de la SAFA, Messieurs les membres du comité exécutif de la CAF, Messieurs et Madame les représentants des équipes qualifiées à la CAN 2013, Messieurs et Madame les représentants des corps diplomatiques et consulaires et des institutions internationales, Mesdames et Messieurs, chers frères et amis du football, 17 ans après le premier pas de l'Afrique du Sud dans la Coupe d'Afrique des Nations, la CAF plante à nouveau son chapiteau dans un pays qui occupe une place particulière dans le cœur de toute la famille du football africain. Quand nous consultons nos archives, nous ne pouvons pas oublier que ce pays fut aux côtés de l'Égypte, de l'Éthiopie et du Soudan, un des 4 membres fondateurs de notre confédération. Ici, si vous m'autorisez, nous nous sentons chez nous et nous restons encore sous le bâillissement d'une Coupe du Monde à nul autre pareil. Autant dire qu'en vous confiant l'organisation de notre 29e CAN, nous savions d'avance que nous viendrons au mois de janvier 2013 en totale confiance. Des stades magnifiques, une grande compétence organisationnelle publique qui aime le football et dont nous ne doutons pas qu'il viendra en grand nombre au match qui démarre de plus. Sur le terrain, les meilleures de nos équipes en Afrique rivaliseront pour la succession de la Zambie. À l'exception de deux anciens vainqueurs, l'Égypte et le Cameroun, absents chacun pour la deuxième fois consécutivement, l'élite continentale sera présente et personne ne sait qui l'emportera. Nous saluons tous les grands retours de l'Éthiopie, qu'on n'avait plus revu au sommet depuis 31 ans, au moins, autant que l'événement du Cap-Vert, 38e nation, à prendre part à une phase finale depuis la création de la plus prestigieuse de nos épreuves en 1957. Nos îles ont parfois le sentiment d'être en dehors du mouvement sportif africain. Nous avons organisé nos compétitions à Maurice, aux Seychelles et en Guinée équatoriale. Voici venu le temps du Cap-Vert. Il a surpris lors des éliminatoires et il n'a peut-être pas fini de surprendre encore. De la même manière, nous encourageons les 15 autres équipes à produire le meilleur de ce qu'elles savent faire. Tous les continents suivront, comme ils en ont pris l'habitude de le faire depuis de nombreuses années. Cette CAN, un des grands rendez-vous du football international après la Coupe du Monde et l'Euro, elles seront une fois encore, sans aucun doute, l'ambassadeur de notre savoir-faire en la matière. À cet effet, je ne saurais trop les encourager à respecter les règles du fair play. Beau jeu et bel esprit vont de pair, que les uns et les autres ne l'oublient pas. Je voudrais, à l'occasion du tirage au sort, rappeler qu'une fois de plus, nous avons souhaité associer un certain nombre d'organisations non gouvernementales, celles qui œuvrent en faveur de la paix, de la santé, celles qui cherchent à améliorer dans bien des secteurs de la vie des populations africaines qui souffrent plus. C'est à la fois notre devoir et notre vocation. Le football n'a pas le droit de vivre dans sa bulle et d'être absent de toutes les campagnes. Excellences, Monsieur le Président, Mesdames et Messieurs, au nom du comité exécutif de la CAF et à mon nom personnel, je saisis cette opportunité solennelle pour adresser nos sincères félicitations au comité local d'organisation et à la Fédération sud-africaine de football qui ont tout mis en œuvre en parfait accord avec les plus hautes autorités pour faire de la CAN 2013 un très grand et véritable succès. Il me revient à présent de saluer avec déférence ces grands et magnifiques pays, d'Afrique du Sud, la République sud-africaine, et de témoigner respectivement notre totale reconnaissance à son illustre président, son Excellence, M. Jacob Zuma, pour de nombreux et immenses services qu'il rend à la jeunesse du continent et particulièrement au football africain. Tout est là, tout est fait. Les infrastructures sportives, hôtelières, de communication et de santé, le transport, l'hospitalité et l'amitié africaine, l'amour du football avec un public très sportif et surtout de grandes volontés politiques des autorités de ces pays pour que la CAN 2013 soit la plus belle fête de notre continent. Encore une fois, grand merci, Monsieur le Président, et bravo à l'Afrique du Sud qui, en un temps record, a pris et réussi l'organisation de cette CAN dont nous vivions avec fierté la cérémonie du tirage au sort. Pour terminer, je souhaite une totale réussite aux organisateurs, nos amis et frères sud-africains et naturellement à nos 16 équipes qualifiées. Maintenant, je vais céder le micro au secrétaire général de la CAF, M. Hicham, maître d'œuvre de la présente cérémonie du tirage au sort. C'est le moment que toute l'Afrique et le monde entier attendent. Je vous remercie.
Merci, Monsieur Hayato. Thank you, Mr. President. Now, the Confederation of African Football, as a socially responsible organization, has over the years proved that football has the power to really change how societies act as well as think. During the Orange Africa Cup of Nations, South Africa 2013 will be promoting 4 specific causes. The first is the promotion of education with the one goal, and that will be to help secure education for 75 million children all across our continent. The second will be the fight against malaria with the United Against Malaria entity. Third, together with the UN AIDS, they will aid in the prevention of HIV and AIDS. And finally, it is that of Make Peace campaign with the African Union. Let's have a look at the glimpse of the peace campaign.
The Confederation of African Football partners with the African Union to promote peace through sport.
Président de la Commission de l'Union africaine, le docteur Jean-Pierre, invite à présent le président de la CAF, M. Issa Hayatou, à allumer la flamme de la paix de l'Union africaine.
Football is a powerful unifying game. Through the beautiful game, children, women, and men share a common language and a spirit of fair play that transcends the divisions and despair born out of conflict and rebuilds broken societies, nurtures positive attitudes among the youth, and encourages healthy competition. The African Union is stepping up its Make Peace Happen campaign for a peaceful, prosperous, and united Africa. African peace ambassadors, including famous African football legends, carry forward the message of peace throughout the continent. Ordinary women and men have a role to play in making peace happen. Individually and collectively, we all stand to gain from peace. Since the launch of the Make Peace Happen campaign in 2010, the Confederation of African Football has worked hand in hand with the African Union to carry forward the message of peace and solidarity. Africa helping Africa. What about you? What will you do to make peace happen?
Chess. Yeah. I'm fine to your heart, oh, big, yeah, oh, big, and let it run. Hey, we are going to we are going, hey, we are going to the hot one is better than body. We like a hot one is better than body. We like a hot one is better than body. We like a hot one is better than body. Da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. The humble is better than body. 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 Yes, I go. Yes.
Up.
I know.
What? Yeah.
I know. Church. Church.
Thank you to Mafiki Zono for obviously giving us that beautiful taste of African music. Now the next speaker is the son of the soil, a footballer par excellence in his own right, who is richly laden in a hand-woven fabric of tradition and cultural heritage. He's an ardent football encyclopedia who, trust me, can put plenty of you analysts at home to shame, whose smile and demeanor is always as warm as the African sunrise. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to welcome His Excellency, the President of the Republic of South Africa, Mr. Jacob Zuma. Thank you so much, sir. Nice to meet you.
Thank you very much. Master of Ceremonies, Isilo Samabandla, Hlangalum Sabat, the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Dr. Zweli Mkhize, the Minister of Sports and Recreation, Mr. Fikile Mbalula, and all ministers and deputy ministers present here. CAF President, Mr. Issa Hoyato, members of parliament and members of the legislature, the president of the South African Football Association, Mr. Nematandani, and all leadership of local football present here. LOC Chief Executive and members of the LOC Board, abantwana basendlunkulu abakhona, the diplomatic corps, religious leaders and traditional leaders, soccer fraternity, fellow South Africans. Good evening to you all. It is an honor for me, on behalf of the government and the people of South Africa, to join this special African moment of the final draw of the 2013 Orange Africa Cup of Nations. With great excitement, we are continuing and counting down the last 86 days before
South Africa hosts the 29th edition of Africa's biggest soccer festival for the second time. We are humbled by the trust that CAF has once again placed on South Africa and our people to host this important football event. The 2013 tournament takes on special meaning as we will be celebrating the 50th anniversary of the African Union under the theme, the Year of Pan-Africanism and African Renaissance. 50 years ago, the Organization of African Unity was founded with the cardinal objective of promoting the unity, solidarity, and cooperation of African states to achieve a better life for the peoples of Africa. 50 years on, the OAU successor, the African Union, is bringing African nations and multiple generations of Africans together to raise Africa's profile on the global stage. This event will certainly offer a unique opportunity to pay special tribute to the generation of Pan-Africanists who set the continent on its path to liberation. It will also bring our nations together as envisaged by the AU's founding fathers 50 years ago. Each match will be a demonstration that sport, particularly football, can be a catalyst for social change, peace, and unity in the African continent. For this reason, the AU's long-term aim is to promote football as a continent-wide and integrative sport. It is also to use football to support the Make It Happen campaign, which is aimed at securing long-lasting peace and stability in the African continent. Fellow Africans, the government and the people of South Africa are fully prepared and ready for the tournament. Our government fully supports the African Football Association and the local organizing committee. We have made the necessary guarantees to CAF to stage what we plan to be another successful sporting event after the 2010 FIFA Soccer World Cup. In 2013, the world's eyes will once again be on us as 16 of the finest African football nations compete for the greatest honor of being the champions of the continent in the beautiful game of football. We congratulate all national teams that have qualified. We look forward to exciting games, lots of goals, fair play, and tons of fun for soccer lovers in the country, in the continent. We extend special congratulations to the Cape Verde national team, which has qualified for the first time. This will also be a special occasion for South Africa as we make a return after a 4-year absence from the tournament. In addition, South Africa has a proud track record of hosting wonderful sporting events. The 2013 Orange Africa Cup of Nations will be a timely reflection on the legacy of the 2010 FIFA Soccer World Cup, which we hosted successfully with the support of the African continent. Tonight, we come together to collectively celebrate this key milestone. As we begin this final draw, I will be keeping my fingers crossed for our national team, Bafana Bafana. I hereby wish all national teams the very best of luck in the draw and in the 2013 Orange Africa Cup of Nations. We are eagerly looking forward to host this festival of African football next year. I wish you all an enjoyable evening. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup.
Mr. President, thank you so much. Now, many of you guys at home will remember that during the 2010 FIFA World Cup, our very own president traded in his suit for a pair of boots and shorts. Now, on to another serious matter this evening. AIDS on the African continent has really caused plenty of hardships, with many homes now being run by children-headed households. CAF, together with the UN AIDS and Mr. Michel Sidibe, Executive Director of UN AIDS, plan to change this statistic. Let's take a look.
When I was young, I dreamed of being a football champion. Soccer taught me how to reach goals and work as a team, so I know about the power of football.
Is okay?
That's why I'm thrilled. UNAIDS is teaming up with the Confederation of African Football. Africa is leading the drive to end AIDS. New HIV infections are down dramatically in the region. But we can't stop at half-time. Together, we can reach a final goal of zero. Zero new HIV infections, zero discrimination, and zero AIDS-related deaths. Together, we will end AIDS.
Now, the Department of Sport and Recreation gave South African primary school children the opportunity to participate in a competition. Now, that was to search for an appropriate mascot for South African sports teams and events. It was then decided and agreed that the most appropriate platform to launch such would obviously be utilizing the Orange AFCON 2013. Now, we had over 300 entries of competition, and it was whittled down to tonight's final three. Here they are, let's go. Hahuzonke was designed by James Shiburi for Tagele Primary School from the Northwest. Then there is Shingo, was designed by Luyolo Mbolekana from Siabulela Primary School in the mother city. And then the final one for tonight was Takuma, designed by Dumela Nkwana from Dukhoneng Primary School in Hammanskraal, north of Pretoria. This will give everyone at home and in the audience an idea of the young one's creativity. Ladies and gentlemen, you will agree with me, a round of applause for the three gentlemen. You will agree with me that the creativity of our children is purely magical and innocent, and it is the beat truly at Africa's beat. Now, the big one, the announcement now as to who will lead the entire continent and be the mascot for the 2013 Africa Cup of Nations. Our winner is Takuma. Congratulations to Dumelo. He says Takuma means that to succeed in sport, you need plenty of skill and perseverance. Takuma oozes this in abundance and will definitely add another beat at Africa's feet. Ladies and gentlemen, now I present to you Takuma in his Orange AFCON South Africa 2013 regalia. West Africa is known for producing some of the greatest performers on both music and the beautiful game. Who could forget the icons such as Salif Keita, Roger Miller, as well as JJ Okocha. Now, Omar Wumi follows closely in the pioneering footsteps. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Nigeria's songstress, Omar Wumi.
One, hey! My don't take me, miss, I tell you my own way. When he reached to buy me fine things, he wanna ride that, yeah. If I tell you, say make you do me better. Try understand. See, I say woman will like keep plenty money. So me say you big shake your body. You beat your man now me from out there. Chairman do something. I'll wait. Okay, baby, but I'm belly. Cool my heart, yeah, yeah. Everybody say, one way, yeah, yeah. Oh, oh, yeah, yeah. Eh? Yeah? I'm on, sway. Eh? Wait. Okay. I'm on sway. The way I do when I go down low, I dey cool your heart. And the way I dey shake my bum bum bum, I dey cool your heart. Whoa. I want them for naira and dollar. I want them for pounds and euro. Anything for you, just to cool your heart. Whoa. Oh yeah, dance ya. Borokoto, I dey cool your heart. Whoa, baby. Everybody say, dance, yeah, yeah. Oh, oh, yeah. Kokoma, I stand by. I baby see go. Oh, my with baby. You fall down for right. You pick up for you throw right. You throw right down. Baby. Oh, hey, hey. Africa. Oh,
Wow. An exhilarating performance there from Omawumi. Thank you so much. Now, continuing with the 4 CAF causes, malaria was one of the biggest killer diseases on the African continent, and it is through the progressive works of the continent's intellectuals that Africa is now finally winning the fight against this disease.
United, we can beat malaria.
Bonjour l'Afrique.
Hello Africa.
Hello Africa.
From the schoolyard pitch to Soccer City, we are coming together to be united against malaria this year for the 2030 Orange Africa Cup of Nations. Presidents, football stars, CAF, you, me, every African, we are going to speak up to end malaria. On the radio, on television, on billboards, at home, we will follow football and fight malaria. We can win this fight. Using tools like insecticide-treated mosquito nets, we can ensure more children are in school, more parents are at work, and fewer patients occupy hospital beds.
United,
we can beat malaria.
True. Ladies and gentlemen, the mascot has been revealed. Participating nations decided. The host cities are known. Stadium have long been ready. But what about the football that the players will be utilizing come January next year for the Orange Africa Cup of Nations?
Success doesn't fall from the sky. It's born in our dreams. Here, it grows stronger, fed by creativity, driven by a sense of purpose, until it breaks the boundaries of thought and potential and emerges into the light, powerful, majestic, for all the world to behold. Wawalaba, the Africa Cup of Nations 2008 ball, meaning seed of the Wawa tree. Its name symbolizes the toughness and perseverance of host nation Ghana. Jabulani Angola, Orange Africa Cup of Nations 2010 ball, celebrates Angola's cultural heritage by incorporating the colors of its proud flag. Komekwa, Orange Africa Cup of Nations 2012 ball, its name from the equator and the Como River running through host nations Gabon and Equatorial Guinea. 3 creations, 3 successes, whose world-leading technology and design have forged a path to this, undoubtedly the purest definition of success. It didn't fall from the sky. It was born in our dreams. Now, success is in your hands. Katleho.
Katlego is accompanied by one of South Africa's foremost footballing icons, known in Yorkshire as the Chief. But we here at home, we simply refer to him as Roo. It is my privilege to introduce on stage our guest star and winner of the 1996 AFCON. Please welcome Lucas Khatebe.
Thanks. Well.
Ah, you still have it.
Not too bad.
Well, nice
try.
All right. Lucas, where does the name come from? How did Adidas select this name?
Yeah, Katlego means success, which represents the host country and the spirit of football here. The name was selected by a campaign that ran throughout Africa, where passionate football fans could vote for selected names, and Katlego received the most votes. So the colors, the name, reflect our passion for the game,
Absolutely.
the flair and the spirit of players and the supporters alike. Personally for me,
yeah.
It makes me proud to be part of the country hosting the Orange Africa Cup of Nations next year.
Now, you were there, you were part of the class of 96. What kind of lessons can you really take down to the current squad of Bafana Bafana?
Yeah, no, I have to reveal a secret, but it's not bad,
Yeah?
I mean, Clive is here, so, for me, the secret of our success in 1996 was twofold.
Yeah.
Firstly, we had a group of players who were like one big happy family, who believed in themselves, were focused and dedicated to bringing success to our country. Secondly, every time we walk out onto the field, we knew we had the support of each and every South African fan. And as the host, it is important that the nation gets behind the team and the tournament. Even though I wish I could still be playing,
really?
I too will be there to support the team next year.
All right, let's talk about next year. AFCON is upon us. Who's taking it? Your predictions?
It's a tough one, but although, there are many good teams in the tournament who will be looking to lift the trophy, I'd love to see the current Bafana team emulate what we achieved in 1996. And I'm confident under Gordon Nicholson that we're capable of doing so.
All right, you did say you want to be part of the team, so let's have a look at your skill. Let's see if you still have it. Oh, I didn't see that in rehearsal.
Yeah, you know what, Lebu?
Yeah?
I've had the opportunity to touch the ball.
Yes.
You can come and touch the trophy.
Oh, for the first time, seeing that I'll never be able to do this.
Yeah, just touch it and just put it on the other side.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Lucas
Thank you very much.
Now, before we proceed with our draw this evening, I'd just like to bring to our attention that Bafana Bafana has just lost their assistant coach, Thomas Marikhache, in a car accident, and he would have been here this evening. I'd like all ladies and gentlemen in the auditorium to please stand up for a minute of silence as a sign of respect. Thank you very much. You may all be seated. Let's now go on to the draw and welcome on stage the master draw for tonight, CAF Secretary General Hisham El Amrani.
Apologies for this. Can you hear me now? Thank you. Your Excellency, President of the Republic of South Africa, Mr. Jacob Zuma, Your Excellency, President of the Confederation of African Football, Dr. Issa Hayatou, Your Majesty, King Zweli Thini, dear LSE Chairman, Chief Mwelo Nonkanyana, dear SAFA President, Kirsten Nemantandani, representatives of the participating teams, members of the media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome once again to the final draw of the Orange Africa Cup of Nations South Africa 2013. After the outstanding success of the 2012 edition, seen across 160 countries and broadcasted over more than 200 networks, CAF is confident that South Africa will deliver an even more remarkable event. And today marks the final stage on the road to Soccer City, where South Africa will kick off the event on January 19th, 2013. Out of the 16 teams that will compete in this 29th edition, only 9 of them were present in 2012, which is just a little bit more than half. While Cameroon and Egypt will be for the second time the big absentees, we will also be without the hosts of the last tournament, namely Gabon and Equatorial Guinea, who both failed to qualify. However, and as mentioned by the CAF president, and for the first time in their history, we will witness the performance of the Blue Sharks of Cape Verde, who recorded the biggest upset of those qualifiers by beating the mighty Cameroon. Niger made it as well for the second time in their history by beating Guinea, and will also have the pleasure of watching Ethiopia perform on the biggest stage in Africa 31 years after the last appearance, even though it will be their 10th participation. So how did the 15 teams, to the exception of South Africa, qualify? Well, this time, CAF had to adopt a special format of qualifiers considering the short time between the last edition that ended in February this year and the coming one in January. So we had a total of 46 countries that entered the qualifying competition to join the host, with 1 preliminary round and 2 home and away rounds, giving us the 15 teams that emerged victorious. But to translate words into action, I now invite you, ladies and gentlemen, to watch a video of some of the highlights of those qualifiers. And now, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we're all waiting for, the draw. But before getting started, please allow me briefly to explain the procedures for tonight's ceremony. The 16 teams will be divided into 4 groups of 4. Group A will be based in Durban, Group B in Port Elizabeth, Group C in Bombela, and Group D in Rustenburg, keeping in mind that the first 2 matches of Group A and the final will be played in Soccer City in Johannesburg. In conformity with the competition's regulations, the host country, South Africa, will go automatically to Group A in position A1, while the title holder, Zambia, will go automatically to Group C in position C1. The other 14 qualified teams have been split into 4 different pots on the basis of their performances in the last 3 editions of the tournament, namely 2008, 2010, and 2012. And therefore, we have 4 pots as follows in alphabetical order. Pot 1, Côte d'Ivoire and Ghana. Pot 2, on my right, Angola, Mali, Nigeria, and Tunisia. Pot 3, Algeria, Burkina Faso, Morocco, and Niger. And finally, pot 4, Cape Verde, Democratic Republic of Congo, Ethiopia, and finally, Togo. This draw will be composed in 4 different stages. Stage 1 will consist in making a draw from those 2 balls, which is Côte d'Ivoire and Ghana. The first team taken goes automatically to Group B, position B1, and the remaining one goes to Group D in position D1. Then we will proceed to the draw for the teams of pot 4. In front of me here, I have 2 jars, one with red balls that represent the groups, and one with green balls that represent the teams. The procedure will consist in taking 1 red ball to determine the group, and then 1 green ball to identify the team that will go into that group. I will repeat this 3 more times to distribute all the teams from pot 4, and then that will make us move to stage 3 of this draw with teams from pot 3, and then finally the 4th and last stage, the teams from pot 2. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we will be starting the first stage. Ghana, ladies and gentlemen, the Black Stars going to Group B, position B1. Côte d'Ivoire, ladies and gentlemen, goes therefore to Group D, position D1, and that completes the first stage of the draw. And now moving with stage 2, I have the pleasure to welcome a South African national hero, a football player that will be remembered not only for having made his country proud, but also for his playing career spanning across the continent. He scored 9 goals in 23 appearances for the Bafana Bafana from 92 to 97, and he played for many clubs throughout his career, including the Corinthians in Brazil, Wolverhampton Wanderers in England, as well as other clubs in China and Belgium, as well as Saudi Arabia. But undoubtedly, the highlight of his career came during the Orange Africa Cup of Nations in '96, held here in South Africa, when he scored 4 goals, among which 2 goals against Tunisia in the final to secure the crown for South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mark Williams. Good evening, Mark. Thank you for being with us. Now we will proceed with the second stage, and I'll ask you, dear Mark, to pick a ball from the red ones to determine the group. That is B4. So the next team to be drawn will go into Group B. And now I'll ask you to pick the team that will join the Black Stars. that will be Democratic Republic of Congo, ladies and gentlemen. The Leopards, their 16th participation, will hope to repeat their feat after winning the trophy in 1968 and 1974. Dear Mark, I'll ask you to proceed with the next one. A4, ladies and gentlemen, the group of South Africa. So if you allow me, Mark, I'll ask you to be patient with me. Ladies and gentlemen, this position means that the team that will be drawn next will play South Africa in the opening of the 29th edition of the Orange Africa Cup of Nations. This is a match a whole nation and continent is waiting for. So I have the immense privilege to call on stage His Excellency, the President of the Republic of South Africa, Mr. Jacob Zuma. Accompanied by President Ayatu. Thank you, Excellency. Thank you very much. Excellency, I will ask you now to pick one of the balls from this spot to determine the team that will play South Africa. Cape Verde, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Under your applause, ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to accompany the President of the Republic of South Africa together with the CAF President. With the draw, please go ahead for the next group. And that is C4. So the next team will go with Zambia, the title holders in Group C, that will be played in Bombela. And to know which team is that, please, dear Mark. That is Ethiopia, ladies and gentlemen. The Walia Antelopes will be at the 10th participation and will be joining Zambia. And now, to conclude the stage, it's Group D, D4. Please, Mark, if you can pick up the last ball then to confirm that this team will join Côte d'Ivoire. And that is Togo, ladies and gentlemen. Togo will be playing their 7th time at the finals. Coach Didier Six. Thank you very much, dear Mark, for your participation. Appreciate it. Under your applause, ladies and gentlemen. And now, to carry on with the third stage of the draw, I have the pleasure to call on stage another African football legend, a player known for making his opponents dizzy thanks to amazing technical skills and flair. He started his career with Wydad Casablanca before moving to FC Sion in Switzerland, then Matra Racing and Olympique Lyonnais in France. Runner-up for the African Player of the Year in '86, he was MVP of the AFCON in '86 and '88, where he played 4 times, reaching 3 times the semi-final. Key player of the Moroccan Dream Team that reached the 2nd round of the FIFA World Cup in 1986, he made 101 appearances for the Atlas Lions. Please welcome on stage Aziz Boudarbala. Bonsoir Aziz, bienvenue. So, We'll start with the next stage for teams of pot 3. Dear Aziz, if you can take one ball from the red here. And that is D3. So the next team to be drawn will go into the group of Côte d'Ivoire. And that is Algeria, ladies and gentlemen. Les Fennecs d'Algérie, 15e participation. Ils ont éliminé la Libye avant de se qualifier. The next one, dear Aziz. A3, the group of South Africa. Next team will therefore join South Africa with Cape Verde. Dear Aziz, we can proceed. That is Morocco, ladies and gentlemen, the Atlas Lions, 15 participation as well, coached by Rashid Taousi, will join the group of South Africa. We proceed to the next group. C3, so the next team will go into Group C, the group of Zambia. Please, dear Aziz, if we can identify that team. Burkina Faso joining Zambia and Ethiopia, the Stallions being at their 9th participation. And finally, to conclude the third stage of this draw, it is B3. So the next team, the remaining team of this spot, joining the group of Ghana, please. And there is indeed Niger. Niger, ladies and gentlemen, 2nd participation. They have eliminated Guinea before reaching here. Dear Aziz, under your applause, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your participation. Thank you. Excellencies, we're now proceeding to the last stage of this draw. And for this, I have the privilege to be accompanied by Africa's most famous number 11. He played 114 times for his country and scored more than 50 goals, playing in 6 editions of the Orange Africa Cup of Nations, reaching the final once in 1994. He was also famously known for scoring a hat-trick against Italy in a 4-0 victory at the 1988 Olympics in South Korea. At the club level, he played for Cercle de Bruges before going to PSV Eindhoven, where he won a couple of titles, then before ending with Club America of Mexico, spending there 8 years. Currently president of the Football Association of Zambia and CAF Executive Committee member, his dream came true when Zambia lifted the trophy in Libreville in February this year. Please welcome on stage Kalusha Bwalia. Good evening, Kalusha. Glad to have you with us. Let's proceed now for the teams of Part 2. I'll kindly ask you to pick one red ball to determine first the group. D2. So the next team to be drawn will join the group of Côte d'Ivoire. Dear Kalusha. That's Tunisia. Tunisia, ladies and gentlemen, the Carthage Eagles, coached by Sami Trabelsi. It's their 16th participation. They complete Group D of Côte d'Ivoire. And now to proceed with the next group. And that is B2. Next team then will complete the group of Ghana. You can proceed, dear Kalusha. Mali, ladies and gentlemen, the Eagles of Mali, with their captain Seydou Keita, joining Ghana, Niger, and Democratic Republic of Congo. Let's move on and pick up the next team. A2. So the next team will complete the South African group. Dear Kalusha. Angola. Negras, playing for the 7th time, will complete Group A. Dear Kalu, we'll proceed with the last team. And that is indeed C2, completing the group of Zambia. Please. And it is indeed the Super Eagles, ladies and gentlemen. Nigeria, playing for the 17th time, coached by Stephen Keshi, will join the group of Zambia. Thank you, Kalusha, for your participation. Under your applause, ladies and gentlemen. Distinguished guests, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes tonight's draw. Please allow me to provide you with a summary. Group A, South Africa, Angola, Morocco, and Cape Verde. Group B, Ghana, Mali, Niger, and Democratic Republic of Congo. Group C, Zambia, Nigeria, Burkina Faso, and Ethiopia. And finally, Group D, Côte d'Ivoire, Tunisia, Algeria, and Togo. I now look forward to see you on the 19th of January 2013 to see South Africa play Cape Verde, and then the beat will be at Africa's feet. Thank you very much for your attention, ladies and gentlemen. And now, dear Lebo, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, and definitely to Hisham El Amrani. Now, after that engrossing draw, I'm pretty sure looking forward, and I'm sure everyone at home is, to what the coaches will really have to say about those groupings. But for now, let's feast our eyes once again to the smoky singer who's captivated the continent with her evergreen song. Here is our very own Africa's Omwa Wumi, who also says parts of this song were stolen, in fact, from a South African sound. Take a listen.
See, music heals your body, heals your soul, it heals your spirit, it makes you whole, it heals. So get in the music, in the music. Africa, how you doing this evening? My name is Omawumi. Oh, oh, oh. Whether you fat or whether you thin, it no matter the color where you get for your skin, oh, just to move, oh, and get in the music, whether not quanto, whether not jazz, Afrobeat or dance, all you can do as you like, oh, just to move, oh, and get in the music, This is the time to move to the groove, so get on your feet and dancing shoes, 'cause music is all about what makes me feel real good. I don't care what you do, as long as you get in the groove. So as my guitar, my drums and my piano, I'm loving this music. And no matter the color where you get for your skin, just to move, and get in the music, when I'm not quite so wet down a jazz, Afrobeat or dance hall, just to move, and they come on, move me. Woo! So throw your hands in the air, do what you like, or you can hop, step, jump, move it side to side, or you can bob your head, throw your legs, or you could turn around and round until you hit the ground. I don't care what you do, as long as you get in the groove. So where's my guitar, my drums, and my piano? I'm loving this music. Just to move, and they come on and move me. Dance, all you can do as you like. Just to move, and get in the music, See, music heals your body, heals your soul, it heals your spirit, it makes you whole, it heals. So get in the music.
South Africa, it's now time for local support to really step up to the plate. We are in an age where social media is king. Regardless of where you may be on the African continent or the world at large, everything is literally just a click away. With the Orange Africa Cup of Nations on our doorstep, we are delighted to finally announce the launch of the official Facebook page. It is www.facebook.com/Africa Cup of Nations, all in one word. It's Africa Cup of Nations Official. That's our Facebook page. And for all your Twitter messages, our Twitter handle is CAF_online. You can also look up to the YouTube link. It's www.youtube.com/Africa Cup of Nations, also in one word. We do welcome all the fans on our social network pages, the best places to discuss anything related to the Africa Cup of Nations South Africa 2013 and to access unique content, be it news, pictures, videos, and even results. Now, before I let you go, just a reminder that the second phase of the tickets is opened on Friday. That's the 26th. The second phase of the tickets to the Orange Africa Cup of Nations 2013 will be open on Friday. So make sure you really go out there and utilize all our social networks in order for you guys to be here in South Africa next year. So now I leave you in the capable hands of Mafiki Zolo as we celebrate Africa at Africa's feet.
Yeah. We go, go. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Ndafika endaweni kwela bantu ewufaki panama unxibi panama athi loya nokuthi loya nizokalami
Aibo.
ndafika
Halala, 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 halala.
ewufaki panama
Aibo.
unxibi panama
Wathini lapho? Yo, yo, yo.
nokuthi loya nizokalami
Hamba nawe. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, they call upstairs. They call.